Buongiorno, beautiful people, and welcome to Season 2 of the TB podcast, the Techno Beat with Trent Bice. I won't mess around too much before we get into this great first guest of this season, but before we do, I just wanted to say a couple of quick thank yous. First of all, to the producer, Julian LePep. You can find him on SoundCloud as Perspective, makes some beautiful psytrance. Also to SAE, in particular Darren Holcomb, who helped guide us through creating season 1 of the podcast. To follow along with everything we discuss in this episode, you can go to trentoff.com, and to see the photos that I discuss with our special guest, you go to trentoff.com/ I can't really say it because that's going to give away who the guest is, but then I guess you've clicked on it so you already know. It's trentoff.com/LeighBoy. You can also subscribe to the TB podcast on iTunes, follow us on SoundCloud. There's a playlist of all the TB podcasts, as well as some of my recent live DJ sets, including the spectacular event from Handlebar, Dark Night, just before Christmas in Bendigo, and most recently at Pawn & Co.'s Eat Out 2, featuring my little set upstairs with El Smoocho himself, Adam Wicks. All images can also be found on the TB podcast Facebook page, so as we play our little game of show and tell, you can follow along there. We've got a massive season unfolding. We recorded 2 podcasts with some absolute superstars of not only the Melbourne, but international techno scene. So strap yourself in for this beauty with LeighBoy, and wait till you see our surprise special guests in episode 2. Thanks for tuning in. Embrace the fang.
Crowd of people gather. But you know what I mean?
Making his way to the mic, 5'10", from Lorne High School. It's the new style, and we putting it on wax. Shout out to the Beastie Boys and Jalen and Jacoby. This young man is a Leo, and he is one half of the current melodic techno champions of the Australian Doof. Representing Recovery Collective, Alta and Euphorie Bezirk. Now hailing from Geelong, it's Leigh. Mr. Leigh Rigg, welcome to the TB podcast studio. For those that want to play along at home, we've got Mr. LeighBoy here, one half of the group Handsdown LeighBoy, or duo, I suppose. If you want to look at his sexy mug whilst we're chatting away here, you can catch him on Instagram at Leigh_boy. Also Facebook at LeighBoy Rigg, or SoundCloud at LeighBoy, all one word. Leigh, welcome to the show.
Hey man, how are you?
Great to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
My dad's name is also Leigh, so I sometimes refer to you as Dad. So if throughout this episode you hear me call him Dad, I'm talking to you, mate. Yeah. Cool. So Leigh and Shan. Shan was episode 1, season 1, guest 1. So I just thought naturally for the start of 2019, season 2, we'd talk to you. But we're not going to talk about Shan too much because he talked about you too much. But we're probably going to talk more about your career before Shan, because I guess a lot of people know what you guys are about now, and you're absolutely killing it, which is a testament to all the work you guys have put in.
Thanks, man.
But let's. I want to learn a little bit more about how you guys got to meet. So we'll get to that soon. But first of all, coming off a massive Rainbow Serpent.
Yeah.
I've got 3 quick questions for you though.
Yep.
When's your birthday?
26th of July.
Birthplace?
Footscray.
And who's the love of your life?
Laura King.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
yeah. I love my mum as well.
Oh, look at that. Before we get into your, I guess, how you got to where you were, Rainbow Serpent, just a couple of weekends ago, across Australia Day. Shannon, yourself, it was your debut there, hailed by many other performers and those from around the festival and organisers as one of the best sets at Rainbow, if not the best. I believe you played at 5:30 on the market stage, 5:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Slotted after Victor Ruiz, who unfortunately couldn't end up making it, so you played after Juliet Fox, is that right? Yep. So for those that weren't there, just describe what the vibe was like. There's some awesome photos and vids actually on the boys' Instagram pages, so get on there and check that one out. We'll probably post a few up and some links as well. But yeah, just I guess let's describe the vibe of the event then first, and then I guess you prep going into it.
Well, I've been prepping for that my whole life, you know.
Yeah.
That's my background. So I guess I've been attending the festival for 7 or 8 years,
Yep.
and it's always been such a big thing for me, you know. So I was always very not scared, but very intimidated by the festival, and I was not rushing into wanting to play it, you know. And we got lucky enough to get booked to play by Thad, which was unbelievable.
I remember when you guys told me you're
Yeah.
but you say you're lucky enough. I don't think it's luck because you're putting in a lot of hard work. But one thing I do also recall is you guys said that it's not an event you wanted to apply for because you wanted to kind of earn it on your own merit. So I guess that, well, I guess share the feelings when Thad did invite you guys to come along, and then obviously the slot that you got.
Yeah, well, he actually told us mid-set, so it was probably not the best time to tell us.
So where were you playing?
We were playing. We were supporting Thomas Schumacher.
At Brown Alley.
Yeah, for Morning After, and it was a big show, and I've been listening to Thomas is I've got a lot of his old records from 10 years ago, you know. So
do you have a favourite track of Thomas?
Not really.
Bang Banger.
Yeah. I've got some mad old school vinyls. I'll have to flick through it and show you one day. But anyway, so jumping on, me and Shannon were playing sort of mid kind of set, and Shannon came up behind me and was like, "Oh, look, go talk to Thad."
Yeah.
And we got the news there and then, and I was like, sort of froze up.
Yeah.
I was like, what? It was kind of surreal, and So leading up to the festival, I mean, I was like really, really really nervous, but completely prepared with sort of everything that. Yeah. That was the pinnacle, I guess.
Yeah. So do you guys when you're prepping a set like that, or even any of your other ones, do you kind of pick out a few big songs that you want to sort of get to and work your way there, or do you plan what you want from the start and then read the vibe, or?
Well, say it's completely structured.
Yeah.
So we it's not like a club gig, I guess. Where,
yeah, sure.
A club gig's what we sort of do is because that's why we work really well together, obviously.
Yep.
So and that's what's natural about it. So I know we just know what we're gonna do, and that's why it works so well. But we sort of free flow, in clubs. But Rainbow was completely structured. We wanted to bring up the sunrise. Yeah. And and then just close it off with two of our all-time favourite songs, which is unbelievable, man. Yep. So
we won't give away what you closed with because people can jump on the SoundCloud and have a listen. I think you had a couple of thousand plays within the first day or two of going up.
Well, the last song I played has been a big part of my life. Just one of those songs, I guess, that has always everything sort of.
Yep. Oh well.
Clicks,
which one was that one? Then?
It's Blank by Joris Vaughan.
Yeah, of course.
And it's on his Incident album from I think it's probably about 8 or 9 years old now. Yeah. And it's still today one of the best.
Yeah. So did you guys have to have much discussion over that one? You just knew that was the one that you were going to have?
Yeah, and we didn't listen to it. We didn't want to listen to it, and then sort of when the moment came. Yeah. And Shannon was like, Yeah. You've always said you want to play it on market stage, and look, you're here, man. So
did he let you mix it in?
Hey?
Did he let you mix it in?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's it. That's
my song. Yeah.
So since Rainbow, first gig you played was this weekend just gone at Revolver Sundays. Primitive People presents.
Yeah.
That was with Shan. How was that day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good friends with all the guys from the Primitive guys as well, and so with anything they get going, we love to support. You do yourself as well. Yeah, no,
it was great to be part of the gig earlier yesterday.
Yeah, and they've kind of worked on the same lineup, haven't they? The structure as well, and they get me and Shannon to sort of do a 2-hour kind of closing, and it's always good, especially, and they always pull a good crowd and.
Yeah, and it's great to see groups like that help, I guess, people like me get a chance and develop other different artists obviously Wixie, Adam Wicks, Brenton Chan, who are part of the Primitive group, along with Will Summers.
Yep.
Yeah, obviously Sammy Lamarca played as well. Joseph Connors played at some of their events before. Jai Mills. Yep. So it's great that I guess they are bringing new names into the scene as some such as yourself. I guess are progressing up to those bigger gigs.
I guess that's why. I guess that's kind of when we first met them. I mean, they're very passionate guys, and they take what they do seriously. Yep. And they want to be at a level that's kind of that we work with. Mm-hmm. And so we're all about it, man. Yep. So if we can come and and help them provide a good like relaxed vibe for them, you know, like, and they respect that, and I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah,
really.
and all those boys will be in action again. It was a nice little bridge weekend this weekend before Babylon next week. You guys are there yourself, which we'll talk a bit more about the upcoming gigs later on, but just a nice little catch-up gig, I guess a bit of a decompression from Rainbow whilst a bit of a psych up for Babylon in between. So it was good fun. Thanks to all the boys and Brian and the crew at Revolver as well for having us all down there.
Yeah.
But you're not just all about techno, because the week between Rainbow and yesterday, well, you tell us about the couple of gigs you went to, because this shows that LeighBoy does have a bit of a heart, but also a bit more of a wild side. And I guess also indicates a bit of your musical range when it comes to your history of gigs you've played as well. So where did you go last week?
Oh, well, I went and saw Phil Collins at Amy Park. Amy Park, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
And
so who did you go along there with?
I actually went with my mum and dad and my sister and my brother, and I don't get to see them that often, so it was.
So where do they live now?
Well, my mum and dad live down south, you know, probably about 2-3 hours from Melbourne.
Yep. Is that Donald?
It's
Colac?
near Colac, yeah.
Yep.
It's out in the bush, kind of, and they've kind of retired down there.
Sure.
My little brother, he's from Lorne. He's in Lorne, and my sister's actually from up north. So
cool.
I don't see her a few times,
Yep.
if I'm lucky, a year.
Yeah, and I think Joey and his brother are there as well.
And of course, Joey and his brother.
Laura, go.
And Laura,
Yep.
yeah. So I got stuck on the family.
Yep. So what was that gig like? Obviously, in the air tonight highlight song. Any other big points that stuck out to you?
Well, the opening song is you're the only one who ever knew me at all, you know. So take a look at me now.
Yep.
And I as soon as it came on, I just like got so emotional.
Yeah.
Because it's like my whole it's what I love, man. And Phil Collins is a drummer as well, and being my background as a session drummer.
Yes. Yep.
I was always tuned in on Genesis, you know, and stuff like that. Back in the day, I had all the old records and used to just like sit in my shed for hours, and so like I didn't know what to expect, and when it came on, especially with that track,
Yeah, sure.
I just like started in front of my whole family, just started like tearing up.
Yeah.
It makes me like emotional now thinking about it, because it's like been my whole life. My dad's a really big fan as well.
Yep. Producer Julian, did you work at that?
Yes.
Yep. Producer Julian, Perspective on SoundCloud. Welcome to the season, Julian. Thanks for being here. Woo!
Hey, Julian.
Yep.
So happy to be here.
I love you, Julian.
I love you guys.
Yeah. You enjoyed the gig, I guess, from your side?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I was more working behind the scene.
Yep.
Setting everything up and packing up stuff. So.
Awesome.
Fantastic. And good crew to work with?
Oh yeah, always. Geek power.
Yep.
That's
Did you
my
meet
way.
Phil?
No. We saw him though. But
Yeah.
he was pretty busy.
Well, he's getting old now, so I feel like that was probably the last.
Did you feel his Collins? So after Phil Collins, what was the next gig you went to, bro?
So what actually happened was Laura secretly, because I'm a massive Prodigy fan, huge Prodigy fan, have been since I was probably the first electronic sort of that and Homework by Daft Punk when I was probably at 13, so 20 years ago, and so like I've seen him over the years, but I haven't seen him for a good 10 years, and I said to Laura, like you got to see, he's got to see the Prodigy. So she bought me tickets for Christmas, and it was on the same day as Phil Collins. So we're like, oh shit! So we sold the tickets, and then we bought ones for Sydney. So we went and saw Phil, and then like at 4 a.m, flew to Sydney, had a bit of a nap, and then just cruised and watched them play. And it was actually better because it was like a smaller stadium.
Which venue was it? A club gig or?
It was a stadium.
Yeah.
It was at Olympic Park. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. It was
in the mosh
kind of
pit?
like Rod Lab. Yeah, we were right up the front.
Yeah, see.
Yeah. And that was like, it was unreal. It was sick.
Not so subtle plug, but I got my debut set at Circus on the weekend, and the second song I played was the Victor remix of Firestarter.
Firestarter,
It went off its head. I never planned to play it, and just like, this is the time. They vibed it. And I remember actually seeing Prodigy at Big Day Out. It must have been a bit over 10 years ago.
That's where Laura had seen him before, and she'd seen him there, but that's different.
I think it was Julia Banks jumped on stage during the gig.
Yeah, right, cool. Yeah, that's like still good, but
it's not the same.
This was like
the real fans, like
it's like a full Vero fucking Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yep.
The system
mate,
was absolutely pumping.
Do not censor yourself on the pod.
Yeah. I swear a lot.
So you had a pretty fun weekend by the sounds of it last weekend, and then a nice one here at Revs, and next week we're up at Babylon. I asked a few different people just what questions that I should ask you throughout this one. Do you flick balloon?
I do flick balloon. Do you flick balloon? If Joseph Connor's out there, I'm sure he's flicking balloon.
So you mentioned you used to be a session drummer.
That's going to be your promo point, I reckon.
You mentioned you were a session drummer, which Shannon, he also started in the drumming background. So I guess, how did you start out as a musician? How did you get into drumming, and how has that progressed into what you do now?
Oh, cool.
Long question.
I haven't really.
All right. First of all, how old were you when you started drumming?
All right, so I was 15.
Yep.
So I used to be like I was really not bad at school. I just had a really bad attention span, and so I was always in the naughty corner kind of thing, you know. Mm-hmm. But so my schooling wasn't very good, but I was always really good at art. You know? So I was like, when I was in grade prep, I was like hanging out. They'd put me in like the grade 6 art class. Just I guess.
You were in year 9 at the time.
I was in year 9. Yeah, it's a great prep,
Yeah.
I couldn't tie my shoelaces, but I could draw a shark, And anyway, so by the time I was 15, I was a very angry. I was very angry, I think, kind of. Like, I used to have a short temper.
Yeah.
So they put me through a bunch of, as schools do, like management plans, whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the suggestions was, beat the drums.
Take the aggression out.
So second session in, everyone's doing paradiddles and mum and dadders and stuff, and at the end of the session I was playing Killing in the Name Of with my drumming teacher.
Yeah.
And all the kids were lined up. I still remember it. And the teacher just rang my mum and just said, look, he's a natural.
Yeah.
Maybe you should look at, doing this. And mum and dad were like, well, we can't, but
Afford it.
can't afford it or whatever. Yeah. And
most people have that.
I was like kind of not really at home that way as much. It's kind of a long story, but they bought me like an old like Tama, Tama, the brand, an old Tama kit, and so I just used, that was my like escape, and then I just never picked up a pencil again, and just became like a full-time drummer, and just immersed myself in like in that's what I did. I just sort of, next I had full head of dreadlocks, and was wearing Cypress Hill long sleeve t-shirts with marijuana leaves all over it, and ripped jeans. I was like really like, and like started like listening to like a lot of old grunge, and like a lot of progressive rock, like big Tool fan, stuff like
sure.
Really even like Rush and stuff, like going through my dad's old stuff.
Yeah.
So like just immerse myself in it, and just used to just drum for, that's all I used to do for.
I guess some of those old grunge bands like that, how do you think they like impact, I guess, what you play now, or even when you go into your production, which we'll get to soon, but the way that they progress the song, I guess, do you think you've just subconsciously taken that in, or is that something you look at how they structured their tunes and kind of reflect that, do you think? Or
yeah, well, I'm a big progressive fan.
Yep.
That's why I guess I like Tool and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And I like emotion. I like emotion as well. I'm really into.
And a bit of intelligence in the song as well.
Yeah. Like I'm a big Bon Iver fan. Like I like things that sort of touch on a certain feeling.
Yep.
That we find hard to find.
Yeah.
And that's where I found it through music, which helped me with my helped me kind of relax into my adulthood, I guess.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely.
Yep.
And it sort of brought me into a world where I started hanging out with musicians as well a lot more.
So did you join a band, or did you just get in touch with the studio and start helping them out?
Yeah, I did all that. I started like I made my own. I had heaps of bands. My first band was called Makeshift. And our first song was called Circular Hate. And we were just like a thrash band, And I just picked a couple of kids that I knew were like same as me, kind of, and the teachers were like, "Oh, he's shit at school, so let's just let him play in the music room,"
Yeah.
Literally, and I just started doing that, and
Yep.
and that's how it all unfolded for the next couple of years after that, where it unfolded into what I'm doing now.
Yep. So how long did that take you until I guess you started in the club scene?
Well,
or did you play a lot of house parties or something, or like?
No, well, because I was living down in Lawn at the time.
Yep.
And yeah, that was back in the day when like, you know, I used to like go and collect, you know, Carl Cox CDs. That my mate's mum was a bit of a tripper, you know. She like introduced us into these, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just obsessed with them. We'd dance in the backyard, and you know, like we were just like the start becoming like.
So that's how you started to DJ?
No, that's not how it started to DJ. So like I was a producer first. So
Yeah.
I remember I started going once I was about 18.
Yeah.
I started going to raves and stuff, and
What,
started.
in Lawn?
No, I used to go to like Coral Castle, and
Yeah. Okay.
I remember my first club gig was Carl Cox at Room 680,
Oh really?
6-hour set.
How old were you then?
I just turned 18. I remember I turned 18. I had to ring Ticket Tech,
Yeah.
and I was just like, oh, you know.
I was in that first club gig you went to, or you played at?
I was like, as soon as I
you
turned
watched.
18, I was
Yeah.
like, rang up Ticket Tech because we didn't have
Yeah, internet. Yeah.
internet, you know, and it's like Motorola flip phones just came out, you know, and she's like, well, you're in luck, you know. And then 2 months' time, he's doing a 1,000 person show, almost sold out. So there was always been like this mad underground, you know, in Melbourne, and then I didn't even know about it, and like
So that must be what, about 2004?
yeah.
Yeah. I remember at Ticket Tech, like when tickets to the like footy grand finals or like big games for basketball finals or something would come out, in Bendigo, we used to have to go down to Powney's, the newsagent, and people would be lining up at Monday morning, like out the door. Now it's all just make sure you know where to click your mouse on the screen at the right time, or pre-order them or something. So Carl Cox was your first club gig you went to. What was your first DJ gig?
This is cool how I did this. So like I used to have like, you know, like a widescreen, you know, like PC computer.
Yeah.
Had like 64 megabytes of RAM, like
Oh, so you said you were a producer first.
yeah. So what happened? I had this friend, and they all had a program called Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
If you know Fruity Loops. Yeah. And this was like back when it was like I don't even think 3 was out.
Yeah.
And I think they're up to 10 now, something like that. And anyway, so these guys were just, you know, back, you know, used to have to type in formulas and stuff, you know, and but for just beat layouts. Anyway, my mate, he gave me the program, and I just sat there for days, man, because I was just, I don't know, like I said, I've just always had an understanding. I didn't teach myself. I was just like, I'm gonna make a techno song. It has to sound like this, you know. So I'd made all these songs, and then I ended up getting Tractor 2. That's how old it is. How weird is that? Tractor 2 is out.
What's Tractor up to now?
Like they tried to make 3, but it was just shit. So they just kept number 2, and people still just use 2. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right.
So that program's like been, how weird, eh? Yeah. like probably 15 or so years. Yeah.
Yep.
And anyway, I remember, you know, no headphones, just a mouse, and I was like, you know, I knew my way around it. And my mentality is just like anything. It's like, you know, you got just like, as long as it sounds like Carl Cox or whatever, yeah, it has to be.
Doesn't matter how you get there.
Yeah, it just has to be that good, you know. And my first gig was there's a place called Costa's in Lawn, and it's just like a little like restaurant kind of thing near the foreshore, and I was living down there with and there was a couple of guys there. Good, one of my best mates who I met down there. Me and him were hanging out heaps, and we were like really into drum and bass and you know, whatever. I used to just sit there and make tunes, and he'd just sit there and listen and, you know, smoke weed and just chill out. Yep. And so one day, it was at the middle of winter. I can remember Lawn had 50,000 people overnight, and then they all just go, you know, for like 2 months of the year, and then it's just like quiet, man. Yeah. And they just sort of live off like small amounts of people coming in. Yeah. But then there's this whole town of just people with nothing to do. So I just I don't know how, I think I just put a flyer up, or it was just word of mouth even. Yeah. And I just took my computer with the fat screen and the mouse, and I hired like, you know, like just a basic PA system with a sub, and sat my computer like on the sub and had the whole club start and just like had all these tunes, you know. Yeah. And I remember the last song I played was It's Like That, you know, by Run DMC.
And that's the way you...
Yes, yeah. I looked up and the whole place was full.
Yeah.
I was in a restaurant and like it was that full, man. Like the windows were fully fogged up, and I didn't even I must have just been in the zone. Yeah. And I looked up and I was just like, oh fuck, this is sick. Like, and I think that was the moment I was hooked.
I can definitely relate to the hauling the old computer around. I started doing the DJing and the music announcing eventually. The court announcing at the Bendigo basketball games when I was about 17. And they used to just play tapes, like cassette tapes or CDs. And then it became like once or twice a weekend. I'd haul mum and dad's desktop computer, put them in the old big like Australia Post box things, put the big screen in, like 15, 16 inch monitor, all it down, set it up, have everything loaded up. But geez, cutting the gear around's a bit different back then to what it is now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing as well. Like, even like before I started making beats, I used to just sit there in front of the radio.
Oh, and you record.
And just record, and I just have hundreds of mixtapes, you know.
Yeah.
And they would just be like, they'd be like,
the ads and all the shit.
Yeah, but that's the only way you couldn't find a song.
Yeah.
So like you'd have I used to have literally, man, boxes of them.
Oh.
I'd have them somewhere, have boxes of them, and just like it'd just be
mixtape one.
Yeah, 50 seconds of a track, you know.
Yeah. And
they were sick. You used to listen to them in the car, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so good.
Yeah.
I wish I still had.
But like you never knew what song was going to come on, so you'd hit record.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's a shit one, so you'd have to stop, rewind the tape, get it ready for the next one, and it's an add-on. But,
yeah, cool.
Yeah, and
so obviously I was, obviously been collecting music my whole life.
Yeah. So did you get into, because I know you like love rap and you hip hop. Yeah. Did you get into that before like the Carl Cox stuff, or was that kind of?
No, see that's my roots, eh?
Yeah, right.
So my mum's like a disco baby, you know, and my dad's a full rocker.
Yeah.
And they're both from England, so they were both like heavy into like the mods and rockers scene and that.
So did they meet over there or here?
No, they met here.
Yeah. Okay.
But
fuck going back.
Yeah. No, like yeah. So they live here, I guess. But my dad, when he moved over, had 4 younger brothers, and like they come from a bit of the old school English kind of family, I guess. And the youngest brother, who's my uncle, was he was 13 or something.
What's his name?
David.
Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dave, yeah, and like so.
Shout out.
Because he was young.
Yep.
And he was like, you know,
closer to your
Western,
age.
a Westie, you know,
Yeah.
proper old school 90s Westie,
Yeah.
you know, graffiti artist, the whole lot. And I was just his little protege, really. So yeah, he like, yeah, like I was wearing, he was putting like overalls on, you know, backwards, like crisscross and stuff. You know? And like we used to wear starter caps and all that. Like I was like 6, you know, and like stealing caramello koalas and stuff. But yeah, he was just like completely like fully into the 90s hip hop scene. So and he taught me, you know, it's like you can't have a stereo system without bass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to have subbies. Cars have to have subbies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is how you everything from like how you treat women and how you have to look fresh, respectful, you know, all this stuff, you know. So like as a young kid, I was just like completely, that's just how I rolled, I guess.
Yeah.
So like my first tape was the ODB LP.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, ooh baby, I like it raw. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And I had that, and I remember he gave me Temples of Boom. Cypress Hill, which is number 3, which is still, you know, illusions and stuff like that, you know. And I remember my dad used to come in and hear me listening to it, and he used to take it off me and hide it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know what a bong was, you know.
But do you now?
No, Trent. Yeah, so that was kind of like, I was just, so obviously, and at the same stage, I was like, my dad was giving me like, he used to always chuck on like Phil and, you know, Metallica, and like, you know, because he was a rocker. It's
amazing how much influence you get from your parents, isn't it? Like, even just driving around, I went on a little road trip and we were pumping Aussie Crawl the whole time, just like getting nostalgic.
Well, when I was a kid, man, my mum used to trip out because every morning. All I used to do, Mum reckons I used, because I didn't sleep much when I was a kid, because I was like, I was a bit high.
So it hasn't changed?
Yeah. I do like to sleep in. Yeah, and like Mum, or even says, yeah, from a young age, I was just like, I just sit there and watch video hits and watch Rage. And Mum, I'd start like saying a song before it came on the radio. Yeah. And Mum had this moment where, you know, I was real young, and she thought, oh, Leigh can tell. But she didn't realise they were just playing the same circulation.
Oh, the same rotation.
Yeah, rotation, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I was that tuned into it that like, you know, they have like Boys to Men would come on Into the Road or some shit. It's like, Mum, they're playing it like 100 times a day. It's bound to come on.
Well, you've got a 1 in 4 chance usually of guessing it's the same one.
Yeah, but I was completely just infatuated with music, and every time I hear something new, I just throw myself into it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of even when I was drawing and stuff, I was still always listening to music.
Yeah. So Phil Collins, Prodigy, Cypress Hill and ODB, Carl Cox. How have those influenced and I guess adapted your sound? And influenced your sound now? And then how did that lead to, I guess, where was your first club gig?
So when I was 21, I moved to Melbourne by myself. And because I had like a bit of a tragic incident with a friend of mine who passed away. And I was being a kind of a street kid my whole life. I was he was, you know, it was like me and him, you know. So when and like, you know, so he kind of believed in me, and he used to love listening to my tunes and stuff, just naturally, you know.
What was his name?
Ben.
Yep, Benny.
Yeah. Benjamin Arkansas, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really tragic, and I took it really hard.
Yeah, because you would.
Yeah, and but on a good note, what I just went, well, you know, Benny said, you know, he loved what I did, and I should do it. And we had no platform to do it. We didn't know what we were doing. So I just kind of met a couple of people in Melbourne, rolled up, started partying with them. Moved into a house, and then I used to just like cruise around the city by myself, you know, find myself at Revolver on Sunday morning, listening to the Sunshine, and, you know, the books and stuff.
Like a lot of people probably in similar situations these days still do.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I did that for years by myself, and in those years I started my first residency at Angler's Tavern in Footscray. That was my first, like, I had to do like 4 hours there, get a free Palmer, $250, and then and then I started my first proper club residency at Circus Fridays.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hold you there.
Yeah.
Because we do play a little game, as we've had in the previous season of Show and Tell. So what I'm going to do for the listeners at home is post all these photos on the Facebook page, which is the TV podcast, or type in Trent Bice or Techno Beat, and it should come up in your search. Or also go to trentoff.com, and there'll be a TV podcast link at the top. The link will also be in the comments section of this on SoundCloud, iTunes and Spotify. And the photos that we talk about here is you can play along, so then that way we kind of know what we get. But I haven't shown Leigh which photos we're going to look at.
Oh, no.
We've had one of him DJing at Fake Chow, which is one of the clubs we'll get to soon, up in the room as he walked in. But so first of all, we've got one from Circus. We've got a couple from Circus. Julian's just going to get them up for us now. But I guess you mentioned on Revolver, and like I guess that's the beauty of Revolver too, isn't it? The self-esteem that place can help generate and the connections you can make through there. It's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Circus. So just to put it in perspective, we've got you DJ, you got a black top on, just as bright hat, drinking a stubby on the decks. Who are you mixing with there, mate?
So that's one of my closest friends, Luke James, and his DJ name was Lukewarm. Still a really, really good friend of mine. And don't get to see him often, but when I do, it's always a pleasure.
Cool. And we've got another one of Circus as well. So just want to continue where you're at there with how that came about, and I guess where you went from there. So
I think it's the same night, isn't it?
The same night, just in the background there with a few.
Wow, how's the hairstyles?
All right.
That's great, isn't it?
So what era is this?
I don't even, probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, so like 2009 sort of.
Yeah.
Yep.
2009 sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. So you started playing at Circus.
Well, how's how they got the back wall and stuff?
Yeah.
It's all different now, isn't it?
Yeah. So you started playing at Circus, and then where else from there?
Oh, so so I started working with those guys and helping out with events and stuff.
Yep.
Started getting like little club gigs here, all over the shop. 161 here and there when I was lucky enough to play there. Because I used to love that venue.
Yeah.
Still do.
Yep. I think Julian's got a picture for one of the other ones. Oh, it's
no.
a bit zoomed out.
Yeah.
Go the.
Yeah, that's Corova.
So that's not you though, is it?
That's me. Yeah.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So that was where you went next.
We started. My mate bought into a little venue called Corova, which is at the top of Burke Street.
Yep.
New Parliament House, and they were basically just had a clean slate kind of thing. So we started Corova Saturdays there, and we didn't have much to work with. It was only a small venue, and I worked there. Yeah, from there, just worked with we worked with Tramp and Jungle before Jungle started. We helped with. When we used to close at 6 a.m, we'd sort of just bring everyone to Jungle naturally. Yeah, it's the only place to really go, or Revs. Mm-hmm. And so I was kind of really part of that, that scene. And
yeah, any other names I guess that are still synonymous in the game today that played back then, or who else was at Corova on the card with you?
Well, when I started there, that was before I even met Shannon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's before because I'm a bit older, obviously.
Yeah.
There's not many people I could tell you that are sort of my age.
They're still
that I was sort of rolling with. There's a lot of people in the scene, but I guess because I was working for Corova as well.
Yep.
I was the host there and helped with the bookings and just general, management of the whole venue.
Yeah.
It was me and a few other guys.
So that one was called Jurassic the Night, was it?
No, Jurassic. That's James Gilliott.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a photographer. Yeah.
Yep.
Which I'll shout out to him for
so there's
later.
So there's Corova Saturdays. There was Mischief in the Milk Bar there too, wasn't there?
That was way before Mischief.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I was there for about three and a half years, I think, 4 years of my life, every weekend pretty much hosting, and that's when I met Shannon and Keish and all of them, man. That everyone came through Corova at one point in time.
Yep. I think we've got another next picture for you.
Yeah. Oh, that's at Revolver.
Oh, that's in the cage.
My first gig at Revolver, yeah.
Yep, and that's with Bongers.
With Bongers, yeah.
Yep, and he's got a remix with him.
Bongani's another guy that I met at Corova.
Yep. Do you want to quickly, mate, plug your remix with Bongers? It's on the SoundCloud?
Oh, the Ciderfire one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah, it is. Do you like it?
Yeah. We were playing it earlier before you, as you were coming in. It's anyone check it out.
Yeah, it's cool. It's me and Handsdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. How long ago did you make that?
Oh, it's a few years ago now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, where's this one? This one, the only thing I've got about this one...
See, that's really old.
This is Leigh, just plain black tea. It looks like you've got have you got tips there, or is it just the lighting in the...
Have I got...
blonde tips in your hair?
I think I'm just really young.
Give us a rock single. That was from 2010.
I look healthy.
I actually know, that one I didn't know where that was from, or when. Most of the other ones sort of had a date on them, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might have been from TFU or something.
Yeah, right.
It looks like TFU photo, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that's on the old 1000s as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can look young there.
Okay, so now let's talk about this one. You mentioned that Corova was before you met Shannon. So this one, you guys have got your masquerade marks on. Look at us in love with each other as ever.
Well, this is a whole...
We don't want to talk about Shan too much because Shan talked about himself for over 90 minutes. But the way we're going, I reckon you're going to blow him out by a mile anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm going to sit back. You tell me how you met Shan. And, I guess first how did you meet him and then how did you become a bit of a dynamic duo of the Techers?
Well, there's two different sort of stages in my music career, and the first stage was how we became really good friends, and how we met, and that lasted for probably about 3 or 4 years, 5 years or something, 4 years, and then.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers, man.
Yep.
I met Shannon. It was pretty funny, actually. So I was already promoting at the club for a couple of years at this stage, and then Shannon kind of rolled in when he was about 18.
Yeah.
And so you could tell he comes straight from the hardcore scene, and character as you can imagine. And I guess we just really you know, he was just always keen, so keen.
Yeah.
And, instantly we just became like, you know, buddies, I guess, you know, with a handful of other crew, you know.
So which club was it?
This is at Crowbar. So this is like when Zach DiPetro first started.
Yeah.
And he used to play with Ricky Gara.
Yep.
And they were so young, and so they were like playing kind of like Dutch house, that kind of style. But Shannon had this whole edge where he was like gonna play like big room dubstep, you know.
Yeah.
So he'd be rocking up to clubs and, you know, playing like Skrillex and which like I said, you know, me being like a mad bass lover, I was already all over it.
Yep.
So, you know, we just hit it off straight away, I guess, you know, and I was always sort of like looked out for him, and just, you know, we just became good friends, and then we hanged out a lot. Anyway, so then up until I was about 27, I had a bunch of unfortunate events, we'll just say, which forced me to have to move away from Melbourne. Yep. And which was crushing, you know. Because it's sort of like after moving up there after my mate passed away, it's sort of all I knew. It's just who I was, you know. Yep. And I had no passion to be like famous DJ or whatever. Like I've always had a saying, you know, I've never wanted to be seen as the best, just part of the big picture. Yeah, sure. You know, and so that was kind of just like what I sort of worked for, you know. So I like put a lot of effort and stuff like that. So I put a lot of effort and time and lost a lot of sleep, and you know, and we partied a lot, and so I moved away, and I didn't see Shannon for about upwards up to almost a year. Okay. And I didn't see a lot of people for a while.
So was he living in Melbourne?
He was in Melbourne. Yeah, he was in Melbourne. So anyway, I was lucky enough to meet a guy named Aaron Cashin. He was like the creator of Fake Chow and the current booking agent and creator of Bloom.
Shout out to Az.
Shout out to Az. Yeah, he's such a legend, you know. And so this is after I kind of just lost everything, you know, and like it really crushed me. And I was still making a lot of tunes by myself. And that's the only thing that sort of connected. But I'd go around to this guy's house, you know, and just mix for hours and hours. And he's a very passionate guy. And so he was just like, it was like rehabilitating me in a sense, you know, like, and because he had this Fake Chow club, he's like, when you're ready, I'll chuck you on. And this club's going off, man. It was one of the best clubs I've ever been in my life, you know. And anyway, so at the same time, Shannon rocked up on the scene, just by fate, I guess. And so I was like, hey, bro, what's happening? And, you know, it was like we hadn't seen each other, and we were completely, you know, disconnected from each other, and you know, and it was weird. It's just like, what's happening? It was like it all just started again, and probably like 2 weeks after we first met, we moved into a house together in Geelong. Yep. He needed to, you know, and then
what suburb was that in?
In Geelong.
Oh, so like in the city.
Yeah. Yep. So like in Geelong in general, and so we got a little shack. Yeah. And then, you know, it was just me and him. You know?
So we've got a picture here of Shane.
Yeah, that's the house.
That's the house, is it?
That's it, yeah, that's their house.
So you can describe this one.
Well, that's just Shane cooking a sausage.
But tell us what he looks like. What's he wearing?
Well, that was he's not wearing anything.
He's got a mustache.
He's got his shorts on.
Yeah.
And he's got a nice little mustache there. How's his earring? That is huge. It's not that big anymore.
It's the size of a dinner plate.
That's big, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he cooking a sausage with a wooden spoon?
Yeah, that sounds like Shannon. Well,
so
we can't use a plastic spoon because it'd melt, wouldn't it? Get the tongs, Shannon.
What's the next one? Okay. Yeah, well, the next one is, I guess, probably... Do you have any more you want to talk about with Shane?
Yeah, so...
Because then we'll get into some of the parties you did with him through some photos in a minute.
Well, I think because, we had some really unfortunate events happen that really, really it affected us deeply.
Each individually separate?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So a whole group of us basically just got separated, and you know, we're all very passionate people, and but it's just it's shaped everything to change what it is today, you know.
Yeah.
And Shannon was younger, obviously, as well, so it affected him differently than it affected me. So.
Yeah, we can, any of that stuff.
Well, I guess it took him about less than half a year to sort of catch up to where I was at, and then decided, okay, he's like, I'm going to roll with you, Leigh, you know, because Leigh, I was one of the only people, I guess, in a scene. The scene we were in was like very, very, full on for young people, you know.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we just wanted to play music, you know, and we were surrounded by a lot of crazy people and late nights and
people that are going out to escape rather than just enjoy the tunes, kind of thing.
Well, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
You know, and like we were just sort of like, knee deep.
Yeah.
In.
Okay.
So like eventually it affected us, to the point where, whatever, and so we ended up meeting up. We got a house together, and from that moment, Shannon was he's doing a lot of gigs by himself.
Yeah.
He was playing a lot of drum and bass, dubstep and still a lot of that sort of stuff. And he started getting his residencies at Jungle and Tramp. Started playing hard techno with like Mickey Knox and the Green Fetish Boys and that. Yeah.
Johnny Doe, Laskus.
And that's where he really formed himself as like a solid techno DJ.
Yeah, and to be honest, going to that club and seeing those guys is what's had a big influence on me getting into techno, and even the tunes I play now. A lot of them are kind of in homage to the stuff, like they are the ones that introduced me to the good shit.
It's very legit. Yeah. It was it's very legitimate.
Yeah. It's also figuring out how to filter out the cheese when you're at some of those clubs as well.
This is one thing that I guess Shannon has always been intrigued with me, is because he came in. I was always naturally progressing as a techno artist, so I taught, obviously, just from direction, I taught Shannon a lot, about, as you do, just as being friends, about, showed him a lot, production and stuff. I remember when we first met, he wanted to make like, not a mix, he wanted to make a movie,
Yeah,
so
right.
I produced, he co-produced that beside me.
Oh, so you made it?
Yeah, he'd still have it, right?
What's it called?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
You can kill me if I can't remember. But yeah, we literally just like fully structured everything through Ableton, like a live prog set,
Yeah,
but it was like we cut out. He had all these, cutouts and movies, and it was sick.
Yeah,
like you could.
And how long did it go?
An hour, and you could
right.
sit there listen to it like a movie score,
Yeah.
and like break into like sounds and sections, and it was really cool, man.
Yeah.
And that's obviously when we started. Naturally we just work really well together,
So you were saying that like you were kind of more of the I guess the pure sound, where he come in through a bit more of the like the bangers, that sort of like more like
he never played bangers, man.
Yeah, okay.
When everyone was playing bangers, he was playing dubstep and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he went from that to hard techno.
Yeah, right.
So I used to play minimal tech.
Yeah, well, I remember one of the first things. Well, I used to thrash it all the time, and I think Tens of Thousands of Others Have is his Earthcore set from 2013 or 14. Yeah, where it was just like humming. Yeah.
Well, we came straight off the back of Fake Chow, and that's really where. So that's when he was living with me then.
Yep.
So that's when we got we didn't have any expectations anymore.
Yeah.
And that's when we just got more real.
Yeah, cool.
And it took it back to how it used to be, where it was just playing what you like, rather than rocking up and trying to play,
So I guess what is your role compared to Shannon's role? How is it different in the partnership for either how you prepare for tunes, how you market yourself, how you produce tunes, I guess the different relationships with people in the business? Like, are you kind of on the same page? Obviously you're on the same page with everything, but do you do yin yang type roles, or are you both kind of split the load 50-50 with most things?
Well, ideally, you teach each other.
Yeah.
Ideally, I've always been a mentor for Shannon.
Yeah.
For not just through music, through life as well. Shannon's a very
and he probably has been for you too.
He's been well, he's my best mate, man.
Yeah.
So and he's been support, I guess I don't know, how do you say it? I love him, man.
Yeah.
So as a family, he's my family.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of person Shannon is, he doesn't believe in half-assed stuff, and he's a very passionate person. So I guess he just needed. I'm just relaxed about it, because it's just who I am.
Yeah.
But he needs a friend that is as passionate as he is. But I'm the balance. See, like he's like, he'll go for anything, He's like, Leigh, you want? When we're playing Market Stage, when I was dropping my last song, he looked at me, he punched me in the arm, and he goes, "Are you happy now?" I'm happy, and I'm like, man, I said, if I said I wanted a Porsche, he'd be like, "I'll get you a Porsche." That's just the way he thinks. So whereas me, I'm very, a
bit more rational.
I think about everything.
Yeah. I guess that's good. You get the radical idea, and then you figure out how to get there, rather than.
I can think too much, and he can be like, chill out,
Yeah.
So we balance each other out.
Sounds like my relationship with Adam.
It's a professional relationship, that's been built naturally.
Yeah, and I think that passion as well is probably part of a lot of the greater recovery collective thing. I guess why you guys are such a good, strong group and have such a good bond as a family, much like the Green Fetish guys do with their lot and the Thicker Steve's guys do with them, is because I guess that passion is shared and you're like-minded thinking in the brotherhood.
Each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's if you notice through the years, Shannon was my first really good friend, and look at him now. And then I've met a whole bunch of friends. Like, look at Joseph. Yeah. Sometimes all you need is like a bit of support. Yeah. You want to do something that everyone sort of goes, "Oh yeah, what are you going to be, a DJ?" That might last for a few years, but then what are you going to do? But then you meet people like me and it's be like, "Yeah, man, I've been doing it."
Yeah, you can't
what we do, bro. I don't know what you mean. Just do it, and that support puts away doubt, which means they can focus on being professionals, which is important for the Australian music industry.
Yeah. And you mentioned Joey. We'll give him a quick plug because he's been on the pod. He helped produce our intro theme as well. Over the summer break, he had a release on Josman Tracks, his own record label. Yeah, do you want to mention how well he did on the beatports? So he had pre-sales.
Number 1.
Yeah, so he debuted at number 30 on the Minimal Tech House. Is that right? Yep.
Yep.
And I think he went to number 2, pretty quick behind Mari.
Mari, yeah.
Yep, and then within not too many more days, he was number 1. So good on Joey. It was a testament to see. Yeah, exactly.
Mari's a weapon.
Yeah, she played porn not long ago, also playing at Babylon, I think.
Yeah, she's great.
But I think that's a testament to show that when you are focused, you don't need to have all the biggest labels and names in the business to do the work for you. Like, if you work hard, like you can achieve whatever you want, really, isn't it?
Well, that's why look at Jai.
Yeah, definitely.
With Recovery Collective.
Yeah.
Everyone's even the younger guys now, they've got a bit of an idea what's going on. But when I met him, he was like, he looked about 10.
What is he now, 12?
Yeah, I think he's about 10 now. No, but he's so small and so young, and he'd already achieved so much at that age.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy did 2 years in Ibiza before he was even 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, to him it was like nothing. And that's the kind of, and like I said, that's the kind of people that naturally, we surround ourselves. So I guess like Jai, me being like so much older than Jai as well, and then with Shannon as well, like we've just always been like the first people that were there as like solid support for him. Mm-hmm. And he was going to do it anyway. Yeah. But it's just, that was the start of like the posse, I guess.
Yeah.
The recovery anyway, so.
Yeah. Now, you discussed a bit how it can be a bit of a grind, I guess, and that you can make a lifetime of being a DJ. We didn't really get into probably an initial question here, and we've just popped a photo up there. That's, I guess, well, describe who's in that photo for us, Leigh.
So that's on the right, there's my lovely mother, Lorraine.
Yep. Shout out to Mum.
Yeah, shout out to Lorraine.
Yep.
Yeah. On the left's Joan, my nana. Mm-hmm. And in the middle is Jerry, which is my granddad.
Yep. And so we'll go to the next one as well, because do you want to tell us a little bit about the importance of the family support, but also how you got the name LeighBoy?
So Jerry, There he
is again.
Yeah. So, this is when he was battling from cancer, unfortunately. So, and he passed away about 2 years ago. And so my pop has always been, he was like my support, as as a young person, he was like kind of like say, oh no, here's my pop. Anyway, sorry, it's a bit hard to talk about.
No, that's okay. We can move on quickly if you like, or get in as much as you like.
The boy thing. So I've been called boy my whole life.
Yeah.
So it's just like boy, boy. And I remember when he was in the hospital, I had a good friend of mine. Tristan came in and because I needed a mate to come help move him around.
Yeah.
And he's like, boy, grab this for me. And my mate's just like, what do you mean? Like, you just call you boy. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's where it came from. Yeah. I was the shortest kid in high school up until year 10.
Yeah.
Year 7s was bigger than me. I had like a growth spurt when I was like 30, I think. Yeah, so I just looked, I only sort of came in, I looked like pretty young.
So you always called yourself LeighBoy from even like the Corova days and all that sort of
That's what happened. I remember the first time they had a fly there, like you got a DJ name, and they used to call me Lee Lemon, was just a big joke. That, I don't know if you've seen Futurama, where Leela tries to dress up as a boy and save Fry in the army, Yeah. Anyway, so my mate used to call me Lee Lemon, and when I was making tunes, I used to have Lemon Records, Yeah. That was like just because I didn't want to be DJ or anything. It was just as a joke. And then they said, well, you can't have Lee Lemon. I was like, oh. And then so the next day I rocked up at the gig and they'd already put LeighBoy, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Just stuck. That's it. Yeah. And like we've had conversations before, especially when me and Shannon started playing together. Like it's been a quick conversation and then we just laugh about it. It's like, no, it's just what it is, man.
Yeah.
It's like Deanox and Beckers, Yeah. LeighBoy and hands down. Like, what's Deanox?
I've asked him that, and he just said that he just saw it somewhere and liked it. There wasn't even a massive story behind it or anything like that. And Beckers is just because his name's Frank Beckers.
Yeah, exactly. So my name's Lee, and I've been called boy my whole life. So that's why we separate it.
Yeah.
And
I remember asking you about that kind of when we first met, and you're like, just like me pop called me. I'm like,
yeah,
perfect. Makes sense.
It's called boy, like just boy. Yep. Boy, do this.
So I guess when you're going through the grind, like how important is having good family support, and like obviously when there's a lot of young artists now who are trying to break in the scene. And I guess a lot of our listeners are guys who love playing tunes and probably just finished school and might be working part-time jobs. Like, you've been through it. Can you describe what it's like to juggle jobs and have the grind but still keep the passion for music, even though it is hard to make ends meet when you're trying to be an artist in any sort of field, whether it's a painter or a musician or a writer? It's always a struggle. But you're showing that you can make a career out of it, I guess, and if you have faith that eventually probably a little bit more good fortune does start to come.
Yeah.
So what sort of jobs, other jobs have you kind of worked as you've done it?
I've done so many jobs. That's the thing. One important message is like, look, do exercise, get plenty of sleep, and look after yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get carried away, because it eventually stacks up and it makes everything sort of hard, Yeah. Which is good. These days everything's a lot more professional, a lot more structured. It's not about partying. Everyone's like
respects the music a lot more, don't they?
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you can strive as an artist in the scene without getting sort of dragged under with partying, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I think the ones that you do see succeed are the ones who don't get blind before their gig. Or
look at Will Sparks and stuff, Like, I always use him as an example. We were giving him his first gigs and he was 18 and he rocked up sober as a judge, played a whole set of his own music, Yeah. And whether or not you like it or not, like, those kids were playing Ableton like we used to play Tony Hawk's,
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and look what he, and that's, whereas it's easy, and it's easy to, being a natural like party person myself. It's easy to get carried away. Yeah.
Well, even a bit of probably a bit of a mantra or phrase that I'm kind of trying to put on myself before a gig is like, I want to have good sleep. I want to come sober. I want to come prepared.
Yeah.
Because if I fuck up on the gig, I want it to be because I fuck it up, not because I'm fucked up. Because if you fuck up and you're off your guts or pissed, then the perception's a lot different. Where if you just make a mistake, then you can own it and learn from it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I can tell you this, man. If you mask anxiety with alcohol, for example,
I'll just have a sip of my beer.
Then yeah, just have this sip of this beer. Then what happens is that you develop anxiety problems in the future.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the stage where you have to make a decision, I can't continue my career as an alcoholic or whatever, or because it's not, not good for my health.
No.
Then all of a sudden you take that alcohol away, and it damages you. Become you can become very nervous.
Yeah, and plus it kills you during the middle of the week when you're trying to get life done, doesn't it?
Well, that's a whole nother side. But what you'll find yourself doing is like compensating for that. You'll be like, so then you're better off taking Monday off.
Yeah.
And getting pissed before your gig because it takes away the nerves. Whereas some people, like my girlfriend, for instance, she's a great example of, the new generation of professional artists where, she'll sleep and then she'll get up and she'll play her set and I'll wake up and she's already home. And then,
or even play your set and then have the few drinks after as a reward for doing well.
Well, not even, just because she's already tackled those nerves at an early stage,
Yeah. How do you find with, I guess, again, for those kids trying to get into the scene, we do have some people who've written in saying, how do you get gigs, or can you help me try and get a gig at a club?
Yeah.
What advice do you have for them, as well as part of the game now isn't just how good your tunes are, it is how well you promote on social media, going to the gig. Are you doing sort of live posts? Are you getting around the other artists? Are you engaging on Facebook? And are you bringing people to the club, especially in the club scene?
Yeah.
A lot of it is, like, whether it's good or bad for the scene, it's can you bring people?
I have two minds for this.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easy to think that the scene is as big as your hometown.
Yeah.
But in the reality of things, the scene is worldwide, man.
And we're so lucky, Melbourne alone, really.
And when you get stuck in this mind frame because you might be making money from it, or that's when you get stuck in the sort of mindset of a club owner, not a musician, and that's when you find yourself having to promote. Support's always good. I like support just so you can be relaxed and provide what you do. But ultimately, I believe that we are already going into an era where it's the music that matters, man.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what I've said to people like Joey. I'm like a very good support basis for Joseph, and he'll always come to me and be like, whatever. And I said to him, man, like, your music will speak for itself.
Yeah.
And you know yourself, Julian. You're an amazing musician, but you don't have to get gigs. It'll just happen naturally, and then you can actually focus on actually making it happen instead of like wasting all your time trying to impress, a club, which is cool. It's cool, whatever. It's all good, but
so how does
it's a lot easier when they ask you to play.
Yes, but it's getting to that point, I guess.
Yeah, that's how it should be, because basically what it's teaching people is that, like, and I always tell this to a lot of my young people, younger friends, or or just friends in general that are coming into the scene. I'll be like, if you're going to promote yourself really well and tell all your friends to come to an event, you have to make sure that you've got
the juice to back it up,
the goods to provide, because it's not. You don't want people there to support you. Yeah. You want to, basically, you're trying to
show them how good you are.
Sell a show. Be like, come down, have a drink, have a good time.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you're too busy worrying about promotion, you kind of can.
But that's something that I guess Shan's very good at in your part of the relationship.
Yeah, that's a bit different though. That's more like it's more helping out. We're already like, we're not trying to promote ourselves as artists. We're like shouting out the show or.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess back in the early days, that was probably something a bit more natural too, was the social media, where you were more as the tune maker, and then you kind of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So back in the day, we used to grind hard, you know, like, and we'd be at all. Naturally, it was easy for us because we were always at the clubs anyway. But we were always there, and we always support, and like Shannon's always been like really tech savvy.
Yeah,
he's actually really really good with his words as well.
Yeah.
Like, he's very poetic.
Good with words.
Yeah, good with words. I'm not. I was like trying to think of the word. No, he's really poetic as well, and and he's taught me a lot. Yeah. Which I think he covered in.
Yeah, in his
podcast.
And I guess one little tip that I've got from talking to different like promoters or like club owners and that sort of thing is part of if you want to play at a club, part of it is going to the club so the guys know who you are. And, because at the end of the day, that's why they're called clubs, because it is a friendship group and a lot of them have members and it's, are you part of this club? Like,
but I think what I'm trying to say is that you go there because you want to go.
Yeah, exactly. Not just to try and get a gig.
Yeah, because if you find yourself going somewhere like against your will, that's just, you're creating an environment that you're eventually just going to
It's like going to a job just for the cash, whereas if you go for a job you love it. And then I guess it's a good way of finding the sound that the club likes as well and knowing how the nights progress and then being able to fit and adapt.
Yeah, adapt. Like I went to Revolver for 10 years. Well, for years and years and years before I played there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think we've got a picture of them. Yeah.
So there's a Revolver sound, isn't there? Everyone knows it. Everyone hear a track, it's like, well, that sounds like Revolver.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've had some sick gigs at Revs. Here's one, Shanrock in the third chapter top. What do you got there on? What's your
Euphorie Bezirk top one?
Euphorie Bezirk?
Yeah.
So this is the front room at Revs.
Yeah.
So we're just going to skim through some of the other gigs I guess you've played. Do you have a dream gig? Like you've said Rainbow is done. Is that what's next?
That was my dream.
Yeah, so what's next? Boom?
No, we want to play Universo.
Oh, sick. So Universo Paralelo in Brazil.
Yep.
The next one's at the start of 2020.
I think that would be suited for us.
Yep. So 2020 is the next one, then the next one at the start of 2022. So it kind of is happens every 2 years.
Yep.
It leads up to the new year.
Yeah, I think you'd have to be booked a year in advance though for that sort of show.
Yeah. Yep.
That's our next aim. After Rainbow, man, like I was like, oh shit, I just start create some more. I did my bucket list, man. Sick.
Yeah, your bigger bucket. So just some other gigs. We'll just quickly flick through these. Do you want to just quickly, I guess, give us your first couple of thoughts that come to mind about each of these ones?
That was our first 5-hour set at Bloom.
Yep.
Which we've done 5-hour sets before.
Yeah.
At Revolver.
Yep.
For Sunshine as well. She sometimes gets us on every now and again. Just take over 5 hours, but that was special because it was different. Revolver starts off packed and then slowly dies out.
Yeah,
this was, you had the control of the whole night.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was sick, man.
Yeah.
And it went real well.
Yep.
We started off with deepies, and then by the end of it we were just slamming it. So and the whole place was just going nuts.
What about this one? What do we got here? Organic audio stage at
Strawberry Fields.
Yep. So now this was a couple of years ago. I remember the weekend started.
Yeah, it's our first set on organic audio.
Oh, awesome! Yep. I think the weekend started. You guys played on the Friday night in that old shed.
Yep, and then we played Sunday.
Yeah, I think I recall you guys saying, because me and Wixie were sitting down the front on the ground because the shed was on a bit of an angle.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying we started the weekend playing with you guys below us, and then if you can see, we were sitting on top of you. And you're like, whose feet are these dangling down in front of us?
I didn't know Wixie then.
Yeah. And you're like, we started the set with you guys sitting below us and finished it with you guys sitting above us. So that was rocking on the organic audio stage. That was the last Sunday at Strawberry. And then this year you guys, the most recent one, 2018.
Yeah.
You guys had it.
2018, yeah.
Yep, had it absolutely humming. That was on the Friday night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about that experience, because I guess Strawberry's a event that's very close to both your hearts.
Yeah. I've been going to Strawberry for a long time, ages.
Yep.
Strawberry's awesome. It's such a good festival.
Yeah. Do you have a song that you love to play there a lot, or even just?
We've always played. Me and Shannon are very innovating with the way we play our sets. So it's very rare that we play old tunes.
Yeah. Is there a song, not necessarily at Doof's, but various clubs that you knew always worked or that you just loved ripping?
Well, I love Nevermind.
Oh, I was gonna fucking guess it.
I love that, and I wish I had Crocodile as well.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good version of Crocodile.
You can only get it on vinyl.
Yeah, there's the rip of it, but it's not right.
You can't play rips.
No, you can't play it.
Oh, you can.
But you can't play it out. It's too...
I've always played full quality tunes.
Yeah.
I believe it's like, it's structurally it's part of moving the speaker, which creates more. It's not belief; it's true. Yeah, more feeling in the crowd, which is important for like.
So, do you want to just quickly describe to the listeners who don't really know, I guess, what you're talking about? The average club goer probably doesn't know the difference between a file that's like 320 or a WAV or an MP3.
Yeah.
So, do you always use WAV or AIFF?
Or AIFF is a WAV, but for Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
that'd be some advice, I guess, for a young kid. If you're going to play, don't just have ripped off YouTube.
You think about it. You've got like even the 320 to 1400, you know, like that's a massive size difference. And so like basically what happens with MP3s is it's compressed, so it just clips off it just compresses the whole file. So you still get the same sound, but it's like it's more of a dense speaker.
Not the same dynamics.
Yeah, it's not the same dynamics. It's more of a dense speaker movement. And I studied sound engineering. You know, and I remember first learning about, you know, waves and, you know, like the whole not concept of how, you know, how the ears create feeling into sound, you know.
Yes.
And it blew my mind, man.
Yeah.
It literally blew my. I literally like went home and
I
I couldn't even sleep properly, you know. When you actually learn about like how the ears can
works.
Yeah, it's just like the size of waves and from the low to high frequencies and just trying to like picture that.
Yeah. So where did you study that?
JMC.
Yeah. So Julie and I both did at SAE. Most people probably know that.
I don't think SAE had quite started.
Yeah, right. Because even like I enrolled not really knowing anything about that at all, and just wanting to learn more about music. And the first day, it's like thrown in the deep end. It's like you got a proper science class, isn't it? But like
well, it's engineering.
But it also hooks you. It is engineering.
It's engineering, and it's hard.
It's physics as well.
Yeah,
it's physics, man, and that's where I struggled a lot with it.
Yeah.
I was getting like high distinctions in my prac exams and then failing electronics because I didn't understand, you know, Harvard, you know.
Yeah.
So but they take it seriously, you know.
Yeah. Even the frequencies and how they hit your body. Like there's a great little thing on YouTube of Chad Hugo from the Neptunes.
Yeah.
Where he talks about how like the crack of a snare like hits you in the neck, so like you pop forward like that, but then the kick like hits you kind of like in the back or in the guts and gets you like your booty thrusted.
Like the knock and
that's pretty like fascinating to hear about actually.
It's amazing. Anyway, so like I think naturally I have a really sensitive. Like I had eczema my whole life, you know. For instance, I can't, you know, Shannon will like clap and I'll punch him in the arm, you know. I can't. I just like my ears are really good, man. For someone who's been a drummer and a DJ his whole life, my ears held out really well. But I just can really, really feel sound, you know.
So,
and which has helped with like you know melodies and.
So when it comes to your feel with Shannon, if you were naked and he walked in, would you rather be caught hands down or feet up? What
I don't even understand that question.
Well, hands down is his DJ name and feet up is his Insta.
I understand that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you've supported a lot of big artists. Here's the next picture.
Yep.
So do you want to just describe who the half dozen or so people are in here?
So that's Normie up the top.
Yep. So what's Normie's role? Normie Diamond.
Yeah, Normie Diamond.
Yep. So he's a booking agent.
Yeah.
Did a lot in Psytrance, but now he's more into the techno side.
Well, he still does all the Psytrance booking, doesn't he? Anyway, so Normie's a weapon.
Yep.
Yeah, so we love Normie. Normie's always looked after us and he's great value.
Shout out, Normie. Ooh.
Yeah, shout out to Normie for sure.
So who's next to Normie there?
That's Bridget.
What's her role?
She's just a cool chick, man. Yeah, she's like really close friends with Michael Musker. That's how I met her. She's just like a really that's sort of exactly what I was talking about. Of just people that are naturally in the scene, just for good times.
Yeah, cool. Yep. So then let's go. You're on the left, bright red shirt, black top hat. On the opposite end is Jai Mills, Recovery Collective. We mentioned him. At the front is our mate covered in the tats with the big eyebrow face tat, Mr. Hands Down. But who are the two blokes in the black shirts in the middle? And where'd you say this was? Subsonic?
This was at Subsonic.
Yep.
So the guy with the bald head is Mr. Victor Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
And the happy chap here is Mr. Alex Stein.
Yep. So they're probably two of the biggest names, I guess, in the techno scene that we love.
In progressive techno, yeah.
What other big artists like that, I guess, influence your song choices now and that you've also supported?
Well, yeah, Oliver Hunterman.
Yep.
Is absolute legend, absolute weapon. Oh, look, man, you know, like Egbert, I love Egg. We played after Egbert at Rainbow.
Yep.
And I've been listening to Egbert and Secret Cinema.
Yep.
I really love that. Really driving Berlin kind of techno, you know.
Yep.
German, you know, the proper rave techno.
Yeah. Oliver Koletsky as well.
Yeah, Oliver. Shannon loves Oliver.
Yeah.
He's a massive fan. You know, I was always a big fan of Solly as well.
Yeah. Who closed Rainbow last year before Robert Babbitt's.
Yeah.
And then this year it was obviously Denox and Patrice Bamel.
Yeah, well, Denox is I mean, I remember I used to think they were Australian, Denox and Beckers.
Yeah.
When I
Well,
first started
I think it was his 8th Rainbow this year.
probably more.
Yeah.
I think they've been a main part of the international bookings for Rainbow for a long time.
Yeah.
And I remember, because we never really asked questions,
Yeah.
I remember just thinking that these guys were Australian. We're about to actually, we're working with Cookie from Morning After.
Yep.
And he's been working years to put on a show. He has booked Denox before, but he's doing Enchanted Garden Party, which you can check out on the Facebook.
Enchanted Garden Party with
Yeah.
Denox.
iMusic,
Yep.
Quiver.
Yep.
Yeah.
You recently...
And me and Shannon playing as well. So.
Yep. Also Township Rebellion not long ago as part of a recovery collective gig at XE54.
Yeah, that was actually that was my first gig at XE. Believe it or not. Yeah. So that was awesome. And we worked with Goose, Goose McGrath. He runs the Pleasure Garden, which he's a great man.
Is there anyone that you would love to be on a card with that you haven't yet, or look to want to play with, or something like that? Or you've again ticked all the boxes already?
Well, I have been lucky enough to support. We're about to open up for Neelix.
What?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Is that so? You're playing at the upcoming Paradigm event?
Oh yeah, but I'm actually supporting. Me and Shannon are supporting Neelix at Bloom.
Yeah. Wow.
He's playing a 3-hour set, and we're going to open for him.
Yeah. Okay.
So definitely come down for that.
Yeah. So you are also playing at Paradigm as well, and you played
that's,
at.
I mean, that's sick. That
Yeah. And in the past, you've also done Electric Parade.
We played both for them.
Yep.
The Bush Techno stage was Muskers.
Yep. And Paradigm coming up with Asterix, Perfect Stranger, Morton Grideau, Neelix.
All of them.
Yeah. And Boris Brescher at TFU. I remember seeing you guys. I think Shan played.
Yeah,
before
remember
there.
that.
You were there.
Yeah.
You've definitely had some awesome ones.
Yeah. And shout out to Market Memories and Steve Blease as well. They're playing on the they're playing on the Paragrid fucking festival as well.
Yep.
And shout out to Lev.
Yeah, and they also did great jobs at Rainbow. And they also did a great job at Rainbow.
Yeah, everyone did.
Lev, he knows how to throw a good party. The hologram one was off its head. With Freedom Fighters as well playing in that one.
Yeah, he's a fine man.
Yeah. And shout out to Martin Bice, friend of the pod.
We love him.
Okay.
So other events coming up. Obviously Babylon we mentioned. You've got Esoteric.
Yeah.
Also doing a gig in Tassie, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're doing the Obsidian Music and Arts Festival for Spicy Music.
Yep.
Liam Spice.
Sure. Have you played gigs in Tassie before?
No, never been.
Yeah, right.
So we're really looking forward to that.
It's like going in a time machine down there, mate.
I don't know. I've never been there.
Yep.
I've always wanted to though.
Yep.
But yeah, Liam was kind enough to invite me, and I'm going down with me, Shannon are playing, and Laura as well. So,
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah.
So when is that?
So we'll leave the Sunday morning at Esoteric.
Okay.
And we place Sunday night in Tassie.
Cool. Now, if you could create your own dictionary, what 5 words would you use? What would be the first 5 words you put in there?
Oh, dude. Kiech.
Kitch?
CYH. What else? Dude, I don't know. What do I say? You listen to me more than I listen to myself.
You say, I'm a sick DJ.
Oh,
There's the other 4.
I get it. No, I don't know, man.
Kitch?
You should have probably just Kiech.
Yep.
Hopefully Joey's listening to that.
What else have you been working on? Have you got any tunes you plan to release over the next 12 months or so? Or
Yeah, cool. So me and Shannon this year starting to work on the Euphorie Bezirk label.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
So
We've been structuring it and building it for the last couple of years.
Yep. So just remind me, Chan did mention it in the first episode.
He did.
Yeah. So sorry, not that Euphorie Bezirk, just in general. Did that start as a party brand, or did you start that as a label?
Do you know what Euphorie Bezirk means? It's not how you say it. We just say it like that. So I remember
That's where I got that. Euphorie. That's how Shan said it on the pod. He goes, Euphorie Bezirk.
Yeah, it's Euphorie Bezirk.
Euphorie Bezirk. Yep. So what does it mean?
So we met. I have a good German friend, and we said it to her. We'd already created the brand. So
Can you pronounce her name?
her name's Anna.
Anna.
Anyway, Anna, yeah. And we said it to her. She's like, and she had to think about it. So we're like, oh fuck, and she goes, well, it means like Bezirk means district.
Yep.
And Euphorie is like euphoria.
Yep.
So it means like Euphoria district, which is happy place.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool. We basically wanted to turn something that was basically like happy, but put like a really dark, minimal edge to it.
Yeah,
I
cool.
guess.
Yep.
I guess that's like
Where's your happy place?
in
Behind the deck.
music, man. Yeah, just music in general. Like, what we create.
Yep.
It's all our happy places, really.
All right. So speaking of your happy place, let's look at the last photo we've got.
Uh-oh.
And just describe what this person means to you, and I guess how you came to meet in the progression of your relationship.
Miss Laura King.
Yeah. So where's this photo taken?
In Bali.
Cool.
So it's a good story, that.
Yep. So if she's the king, does that mean you're the queen?
No, I'm the rig, bro.
You're the boy.
So what happened? Rainbow last year, Monday.
Yep.
We got in a car, drove straight to the airport.
Yeah.
Jumped straight in a plane. And
So how did you meet Lawsy?
Well, apparently I met her a few times, but you know what I'm like.
Oh well, you're the superstar DJ, and she's just the.
These days I get gosh. And you're a model.
Model
so like these days it's funny. I get introduced. People like introduce me by saying I'm that person we've already met 3 times, because they know always. I just do, obviously the connection to my brain from my eyesight.
Julian was having a crack at me over the weekend because I kept saying to people, "Do you know Julian?"
Yeah.
And it's usually just because I forget their name and want him to introduce himself, so they say it back.
I've never been.
But I did it to him and Shannon. I'm like, hang on.
Yeah.
They sat in a room together with me for 2 hours.
Yeah. I think it's just a polite thing. You're like me.
Yeah.
We just like act before we think, I guess. It's just like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So she met you. She came out through a few times.
Yeah, and then we met once, and then we sort of started talking, and just about music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
because people probably don't know, so she studied music
she's a weapon, man.
as a kid. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I fell in love with her, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we're like-minded people.
Yeah. It's nice when you can have a girl that shows you tunes as well, isn't it?
Well, she's not only the only girl, but probably the only person that showed me tunes that
Yeah.
I used to listen to when I was 18.
Yeah. Right.
So I just be like, get stuffed. She's playing Joy Energizer and stuff, and I'm like, get out of town. You know what I mean? Like, we were raving to that, at QBH and stuff, back in the day. So we when we did meet, I think I went and saw her at Dusty Kid.
Yep.
The week after Rainbow, and we've been together ever since. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a bunch of the gigs coming up. She's also closing Babylon.
Yeah.
Which this will go up just before Bab, so some people might be listening to it afterwards or on the drive up. But Sunday night.
Yep.
Let's quickly just say when you're playing at Babylon.
Yeah, Thursday night before Khalil and Hatzler. Hatzler's like one of my...
Boss, absolute
the
boss.
boss,
He's their remix of Mirage with Andre Winter.
Yeah, and
also
guy Chase as well is closing on a live set, which is going to be amazing.
That's on the Saturday night, isn't it?
No, that's...
Oh, that's Thursday afternoon.
Hatzler.
Yep, that's right. It's Jai's on the Saturday night.
Yep.
Adam Wicks and Brenton Chan, 10 o'clock on the Day Spa Coliseum. I'm lucky enough to be on at 8, so big shout out to James, Dusty, Kyle and Chris for having us down there.
Yep.
Laura is closing after the main stage closes. She's playing at 8, 9, 10?
8, maybe?
Yep.
I think... I'm not sure.
Yeah, pretty much when the main stage closes, Laura's getting going. Yep. So we're in for a fun one this weekend. So be safe to everyone who's going to Babylon and all those listening to After Babylon. I hope you had the rockin'est time. Anything else coming up you've got to mention, or we've ticked it all?
Well, we got Esoteric
Yep.
as well, which is there's a lot of hype around that because I think they're trying to create that, I think it's going to be like the new Maitreya, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like it.
Yeah.
Which is what the scene is lacking. That original. That's my background.
Yeah.
Now I've been going to prog doofs and stuff since I was like 13.
Yeah.
And I mean that's that's the real.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know yourself, and be yourself. That's the real
Pure Doof in the love.
Doof, that's the dance floor, and and that's the vibe,
Yeah, sure. And we'd be neglected if we didn't mention on a techno podcast that Pitch is that same weekend. So I guess if people going for a different vibe, Pitch is on as well.
Yeah. And Pitch is they're novel and stuff. They're kicking goals. Always have.
Well, actually, what? Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, but
lineups. I don't know who's in Germany when they put a show on.
Yeah. Actually, one picture we didn't get up, but we're going to talk about as far as other sick gigs you've got coming up. And thanks for putting me on the card this time as well. But Disco 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best parties. It's modelled off the movie Party Monster with Macaulay Culkin. If you want to see some outrageous outfits and behaviour, that is a movie which you can find on the YouTubes. Here's a sexy pic of LeighBoy with a rainbow mullet. Shane looks like he's got some very bleached black straightened hair with a black back cap on. Definitely a love heart and some male genitalia drawn on your arms there, LeighBoy. So tell us about Disco 2000. How many times have you been involved with that? And where is it this year?
Well, so Shannon created the brand.
Yep.
He worked with another guy for the first 2 parties.
Yep.
I was on the scene, but just helped out with logistics. That's about it. And general party goer. The guy who he worked with basically got the flick.
Yep.
And so I stepped in because Shannon, they went different ways. Shannon wanted to take the brand to a different level.
Yeah.
I stepped by that stage. We were already created Euphorie Bezirk, and we were already doing other parties like already. We started doing it.
So this is a no dress up, no entry party.
Yeah, strictly.
Yep.
So once I stood on the scene, we took it up a notch, man.
Yep.
And
So
since then, we've had 4 sold out parties in clubs.
is that about 1,000 people? The biggest one, was it? A bit less.
I think more.
Yeah, right. So where is it this year?
Bloom.
Of course.
Yep.
Yep.
And we did one in Melbourne, and that was a success. We had
Yeah, that was at the bottom end.
we had Elliot,
Yep.
Child from Strawberry, rock up in a banana suit, and you were there, right?
Yeah,
And like it's a very hard thing to achieve. So like we're me and Shannon just put a lot of time and effort. Like last time I built the spaceship, and
Yep.
so it's like really immerse yourself in this whole crazy scene, and it always seems to go well.
Yep. Are tickets available for that yet?
Not yet.
No, coming soon. So stay tuned.
You'll know about it. We'll have,
Yep.
we spare no expense with it. So we have like a full promo video, and
Yep.
we get everything around it as well, So we make sure that everybody can prep for it, and because it's important.
Yeah.
It's not just about the music. Like, and we've always kept like a certain lineup, but we've added,
Yep.
we have an extra room now.
Yep.
So we've added yours truly,
Thanks,
and
mate.
a few other really close friends.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And we've got Laura King doing a weapon closing set,
Yeah.
which I think she's built to do, I think.
Yeah. So it was April 1st last year. I think it was called April Fool's Day, wasn't it? So sum up the disco night in one sentence. For someone who hasn't been that wants to go,
Outrageous.
that's one word, even better.
Outrageous. What's it? No, what do we call it? Like, we always have a word for it. It's like, disgustingly glamorous.
Before I do our natural wrap up, I think you've kind of acknowledged most people that have helped you along your journey. Is there anyone else that you wanted to, or anything else that you wanted to plug before we, I guess, say a proper thank you?
Look, I'm very thankful across the board to a lot of people. A lot of people have supported me being there along the way and stuff, you know what I mean? And me, I value friendships a lot. So, but there's a couple of main people I want to shout out to. And one of them, of course, is Laura. Because Laura's came into my life and has helped me stabilise myself, and they've got building a life with somebody is something that I've always I've taken very seriously, So
Helps pull the reins in a bit too, doesn't it?
And man, I couldn't be any luckier really to meet somebody who's also a complete weapon. Like
well, she does have better tunes than you.
Yeah, I would agree. You don't see me dancing, but like, you'll see me in the front row with a piece of like, bloody Amazonian timber burning. Like I actually really. And
I do tell you what, she was closing at Rainbow, Nicky Gon's crew, and Leigh was like an 8-year-old at a Wiggles concert in the front row.
And honestly, like that's she's like one of my best mates. She's like all my best mates. And then so love you, Laura. Thank you for putting up with me. So another special mention is of course Shannon. Yeah. Shannon is if it wasn't for Shannon, I would just be, I'd still be doing it, whatever. But I just think that fate has put us on a journey that's it's out of control, man.
Yep.
And Shannon has helped me reach. He's always seen me for who I am, and he's always just like he always just. He loves what I do.
And I guess some of those experiences you've shared throughout your lives helps make those, when you do have a win, like celebrating them that much more special and having someone like that to share it with. Yeah. Like Rainbow, for example, or when disco goes well. We've been by each other's side from day one, man. Yeah. And that's how I see it. Yeah. And we'll be continuous, whatever we do, it's, So thank you, Shannon. And I guess, and seeing the way you guys work as well, when I'm not necessarily just playing gigs with other mates or prepping or just even general life. Like it's okay to have a squabble every now and then, but you just like dust yourself off and because that I guess a good phrase I heard from the New Orleans Saints coach going like up to the Super Bowl. He's like setbacks are just setups for comebacks.
Oh, of course.
So when something doesn't go too well, it just kicks you in the guts to make you work harder. So that when something does happen, it's all that more special.
Yeah, for sure. And my dad always said I always learn the hard way. At least I learn.
There's 3 ways to do things: the right way, the wrong way, and the max power way.
Yeah, exactly.
So strap yourself in and feel the G.
So love you, Shannon, legend. Another special person in my life is Joseph Connor. Ooh. So Joseph Connor helped me. He's funny. I guess because I don't know, I've always been like the kind of, looking after Shannon and stuff like that, whatever. Yeah. Whereas like Joey kind of like, even though I look after him, he looks how is that? He's calling me. He literally is calling me.
Give me an answer.
No, and
he's definitely an eccentric character, isn't he?
Yeah, well, so what he does is he looks after me,
Yeah, right.
So I'm like the old pop, and Joey's always, what do you need? Well, anyway, so and like we've.
Now he's ringing me.
Yeah. So shout out to Joey, man. Like he's a weapon as well. Another one of my really close mates. Shout out to Aaron Cashin as well for helping me along the way, and he knows exactly what I mean. Yep. And being there and seeing him at Rainbow when we played, I've never seen someone so passionate and so emotional about me. Yeah. It's just like, what are you doing, Aaron? And that you can't ask for anything more,
Yeah.
And
I guess it's that support why things like his club is so successful and why
he's one of the best. He's the only person who ever got Jeff Mills in Geelong.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like that's. Yeah. He's the most passionate. I reckon he's definitely one of the most one of the best like freelance booking agents in Australia for sure. And I know a lot of people that would vouch for that. Yep. I mean, he's getting he's getting everyone, man. Yeah. He just did Patrice Baumel into Patrick Topping,
Yeah.
Like that's crazy cool for Geelong.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Aaron, my little brother.
Yep.
I love my little brother.
Yep. What's his name?
Josh.
Joshy.
He's exactly like me, but a complete opposite.
So he's tall, handsome?
Nah, smaller than me. I said the opposite. Josh is. Josh has always, my whole life, has been the one person that I've always like, tried to. I love my brother. Yeah. So
yeah. And so he still lives in Geelong?
No, he lives in Lorne.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, and just shout out to Josh Rigg as well and the Fire Alive as well. If anyone's listening, they're a really good underground progressive rock band.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
It runs in the family, being a muso.
Well, between me and Josh, yeah, but no one else is. My dad plays guitar. My dad
Yeah,
originally my dad taught us, like, he had a guitar and we just played it.
Yeah, my dad used to try and teach me as well. I grew up with all the music everywhere, and all I wanted to do was go and play basketball or try and race cars.
Yeah, well, DJing's like skateboarding, you know, it's fairly new. And it's hard to know if you're like a talented DJ if there's no one before you, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we are the creation of...
Pioneers of the scene.
Pioneers. Well, we're the second generation. So that's why it's very important, and this is a good thing to end on, to really, really respect and represent the Australian music scene as professionally as you can.
Well, you were mentioning someone last night that you went and saw at Saint Kilda Fest, and how much you respect him. You want to give him a shout?
Yeah, so good old Shardy.
Yep. Michael.
Michael, yeah. I'm sure every single person knows who Shardy is if you're in the music industry.
Yep. But for those that don't, or the kids out there?
He's basically the top, probably one of the top house and just general production, EDM, all that sort of stuff, and support line for the music industry, and has been for the last 10 years.
Yep. So he masters a lot of tracks or helps.
He helps everyone, man.
Yeah.
He's just got his foot. Yeah, he's the Don, as we call it.
Now, do you
he's
remember
helped with Joey with his, with Josman tracks, and he was like, he's just there to support and help, you know.
Yeah.
And
you mentioned something last night that you saw in him that kind of helps motivate you. I don't know if you remember what you said.
It's funny with me and Shardy, because I remember when I first met him, I had an altercation with him.
Yeah.
I was at Tramp, and I was like young as, and I used to just go there and watch him by myself, you know.
Yeah.
And this is like Harlot House back those days. Mm-hmm. And I remember he's sort of like, basically he was a bit drunk or something maybe, and he was just like, oh, yeah, if you want, basically just put the hard word on me.
Yeah.
And I just turned around and said, fuck you, mate. Like, like, I like you, whatever, something like that. It was like, and he probably just thought, who's this little dude? Yeah. And then now, and like he's always, he's support and love for me and Shannon and Joseph. Yeah. And having somebody at his professional level say that, he knows what he's talking about. And so it's very... Yeah. It's very...
And you also mentioned how seeing him... Sorry to cut you off. How seeing him make a living out of his career and what he loves has helped inspire you.
Yeah, I'm sure he's inspired a lot of people, man. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Cool. And he's always on our back, so it's good.
Very nice, LeighBoy. So what I'm going to do now is just ask you what is becoming the final question on the pod. So if you've listened to the other pods, you should know what question's coming. But the way you're looking at me, I think you're a bit stumped, or he plays the start and doesn't get to the end. If you could ask any person, living or dead, any question, who would you ask and what would you ask them? So I'll let you think about it. So
I don't have to think about it, man.
Go for it then.
Who stole my fucking hard drives?
Who are you asking that to?
I don't know. Anyone who's listening, contact me on... That's the question I'll be asking for the rest of my bloody life.
Yeah.
So thank you a lot to criminals out there that...
I said the other day that you know how they say apparently like right before you die and you start to see the light, that your life flashes before your eyes and all the big moments come through like a end of a movie roll. And I'm like, I've always had like big questions about the universe, but kind of the more I dig into sort of some of the answers that I wanted to get, I've realized that I think at the end the questions all that I'm going to get is like, where I lost my phone, where I lost my jacket, where was all these things? One of the answers that I really need.
Well, that's it, yeah.
I think I lose them in the glitches between one universe to the other. Just on the travel. So, you've nailed that one. Well, thanks a lot. Anyone who wants to hear more of LeighBoy, probably the most recent thing you can find is on the SoundCloud with Handsdown. They're set from Rainbow, also a couple of sets from Bloom, Strawberry Fields. That's all on the SoundCloud at LeighBoy.
Yep.
Also find, just search Euphorie Bezirk, EUPHORIE space BEZIRK. Also you can find him on Facebook at LeighBoy Rigg, Instagram, Leigh_boy, yep. Recovery Collective, Altar, Morning After. Have I missed anything?
Yeah, when I was doing shout outs, did I shout out Jai?
No, we talked a bit about Jai before, but no.
But yeah, just quick shout out to Jai.
Yeah.
Jai, you know, Jai's everybody knows.
One of the hardest working men in the game.
Yeah, man, he's the support. Support for everybody, and so I had to make sure that he gets a big mention and big love to him, bro.
Yeah, and he's a man to go to, whether it's trying to get a gig if you need a promo flyer done or some artwork or.
Even if you have tracks or like, you know, he's a busy man, but I'm sure that if you have a legitimate question to ask about music or direction or flying overseas or anything really, he's definitely the man to talk to.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys who just like professional in the way of like, he'll always reply pretty much straight away. Yep. Whether he can help you on the spot or not, he'll just be like, "Oh, I'll get back. Like, let's catch up, whatever."
Just don't ask too many complex questions because you'll lose sleep thinking about it.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks. Thanks again, Mr. Rigg. Thank you to DJ producer of our pod here, Julian. You can listen to Julian on Kiss FM Thursday nights. What time, Julian?
8:30 to 10 p.m.
8:30 to 10.
One of the best producers in Australia. Yep. For sure.
You can find Perspective on SoundCloud. Some of the nicest sigh you'll hear. It'll unlock your mind whilst making your feet bop. Their show on Kiss FM, they do a different country in the world each week for Psytrance, so you'll definitely learn a little bit more in the scene.
Amazing.
To finish up, everyone knows where to find the TV podcast now, I hope. Otherwise, they wouldn't be listening to it. Yeah. But as we also are accustomed to, do you remember our other custom that we do? Yep, because you listen to every episode.
Wine?
Yeah, wine. Yeah. I wonder what gave it away.
That's what I came here for.
So I try and make it relevant. So this one is a Cab Sav. Again, not sponsored by the pod. But I just find one that has a cute name that I think will help us get us all nice and dancing later.
Yeah.
But this one, the quote is, "When gentlemen know how to behave."
Yeah.
You might be called LeighBoy.
Yeah.
But mate, this one's Gentleman's Collection because you've been an absolute pleasure to have today.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you very much. Yeah. All the best for the future career. I look forward to playing many fun gigs with you.
Yeah, man.
And just all the fun that we have together is unreal.
Yeah,
I appreciate you making the time for this.
Yep.
And let's just keep killing it. As the quote was last night, when I asked him about how to prepare for a gig, he goes, "You know how we roll, we just fucking slam it." so let's just keep slamming it, mate. And all the best.
Yeah, thanks, Trent.
Thanks,
Julian. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks. Thank you once again to Mr. LeighBoy, Leigh Rigg, for popping down to the TV podcast studios and not only taking us on the journey throughout his career, but also imparting some excellent advice for any young DJs, producers, or event organisers out there. You can find more of LeighBoy on SoundCloud at LeighBoy, or also on the Euphorie Bezirk, the label he runs with Mr. Handsdown. That page also has their recent set from Rainbow Serpent 2019, where the guys absolutely rinsed it on the market stage Sunday morning. Thanks for everyone for listening all the way through. You can find more of us at trentoff.com. All those pictures are there at trentoff.com/LeighBoy. And we look forward to episode 2 of season 2 with some massive international guests coming in hot from headlining at Rainbow Serpent 2019 and on their way to Earth Frequency Festival. So look forward to that one next week. Thanks for tuning in. Obrigados. Vamos. Peace, love, and rainbows, baby. Ow, ow, ow.